Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very exciting video. It is a full face of Essence. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, click the like icon and the notification bells for notifications every time I upload. So without speaking too much, let's get into it. So like I said in my intro, today we'll be doing a full face of Essence. I have a whole basket of goodies. I have done some research and a lot of the stuff is sold in South Africa at either Clicks or Discam, but otherwise in the UK it's sold at Wilko's, and I got all of this in Spain actually. There's one or a couple of items that I could not find online. Either it hasn't been released in Cape Town or South Africa, or it is just not available anymore. So I'm sorry about that, because my next video is very exciting as well, and you'll find out why. Maybe not my next video. Anyway, we'll start off with some primer like we always do. So for primer, I got this Skin Loving Sensitive Primer. This is one of the items that I could not find online for Cape Town. I keep saying Cape Town, for South Africa. So I think they do obviously have other primers, which I will link below, so just go have a look. So this is meant to be a moisturizing and nourishing primer with non-comedogenic and aloe vera, that comedogenic, however you pronounce it. It means that it doesn't cause breakouts and it doesn't block your pores. It's got no fragrance, no alcohol, no silicones, no parabens, and no mineral oils. So that sounds perfect for my reactive skin. I am having a slight reaction on my lip here. I don't know to what, because I've used the same skincare over and over again, but it has like a little squeezy tip. And I'm just gonna put some on my fingers. It looks like that, just like a normal moisturizer. And we're just going to apply that to the face. I mean, it is a moisturizing primer, so I'd expect it to be like a moisturizer. It feels really nice actually, like a moisturizer, so I guess you wouldn't have to moisturize before going in with this. So it hasn't really done anything in the sense of blurring or minimizing pores, but it definitely does make your face feel very moisturized and pretty soft actually. So for the primer, do you need it? I mean, if you moisturize, you probably would not need this primer. We'll see how my skin does react, because it's supposed to be calming. And yeah, I'm sweating quite a bit, so I can feel it underneath the cream because it's quite thick. So I guess that's good for that and creating a barrier with your skin. Next we'll move on to foundation. So we have another one of these that I just checked the shade today, because I did watch another video where the shade was also an issue. So this is the Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation with Hyaluron and Aloe Vera, 24-hour long-lasting hydration. And I got the shade 130 Cool Ochre. And if you can see the shade over there, it looks like it should match my skin. I mean, even the back. And like I said in my previous video, with the pandemic, the P word going on, you can't really use any testers. So I kind of just went by the box, but it is completely off. This is what it looks like. It's just a squeezy tube. This is also available, I think, at Clicks and at Discam. And yeah, that's what it looks like. It's just supposed to be hydrating, have a natural finish, feel weightless on the skin, so we'll see about that. So just going to squeeze some out on my hand, and as you can see, the shade is very light. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but we'll see. I also did get a little brush from there. It is just a makeup buffer brush. And it says, the flat shape of this brush is suitable for applying and blending foundation and powders, as well as removing excess powder. But we're going to use this for foundation purposes. So this is very runny. And I'm just going to dip my brush into it, and we'll start on this side of the face. The brush does feel very soft. The product actually does smell like aloe vera, to be honest. As you can see, the shade match is completely wrong, but hopefully we can rectify that with some bronzer. I said that funny, bronzer. look quite ghostly. So this shade is completely wrong, so don't go by the color on the box. Definitely test it before you buy this one. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I know I look really pale. So the finish is quite luminous and skin-like. It is really nice. You can see my natural, or the sheen of the primer coming through. As you can see over there, it's quite glowy, excuse the shade. However, I have noticed that it's clinging onto some of my drier patches on my face and also in my pores, just like the e.l.f. one did. But this is what it looks like on this side of the face, and that's worth nothing. I do really like the brush. In terms of coverage, it is a medium to light coverage because you can still see my blemishes through here, but it did cover up all the redness. But in terms of wearability, we'll have to see. Like I said, it's clinging to a lot of my pores and the little hairs on my face, but that just could be the shade, but I doubt it. I'm just going to go over it with a sponge just to pick up any excess product. Maybe it could be that. We'll see how it wears as we go along, but I'm just going to let that dry down slightly and then we'll move on to the next product. Oh my goodness, I look ghostly. Anyway, moving on. Our next product is the concealer, and it is the Camouflage Plus Matte Concealer by Essence, and the cap is made of 94% recycled plastic, which is great, and it is meant to be an ultra covering liquid concealer with a matte finishes, covers instantly dark circles, blemishes and tattoos, long lasting and waterproof. So the shade I got this in is called 40 Medium Fawn. That is what the doe foot looks like. It looks like it's coming loose, but anyway, I don't know if this color is gonna match either, but let's see. It is a full coverage, so we need that, I'd say. Oh, it looks like a good match. So it's just putting this where I usually would. I'm just gonna put some over here for a little bit more coverage, and then I'm gonna give that a couple of seconds to dry. So I didn't get any contour from this brand because I didn't see any, and also the shade range was very limited. In Spain they don't really cater to darker skinned people, so yeah, no liquid contour, but we have a powder one. But we're just gonna start patting this concealer out. As always, I start with everything else on the face and then we move on to the eye. Feels like it's slightly lifting the foundation underneath, but I mean the foundation doesn't have much coverage anyway. I think this concealer is way too close to my skin tone, so I got that correct, but definitely not the foundation. Okay, so that's everything blended out. I think it looks pretty good, to be honest. However, can you see like my under eyes here are creasing a lot faster than they usually do? But I mean, I do crease quite often. It doesn't have a very matte finish, not like I thought it would. It doesn't have full coverage. I can still kind of see my dark circles here, but it looks good with a foundation, considering the foundation barely covered anything. So definitely would recommend the concealer. It's really nice. So next we're going to move on to setting the face, obviously, because we have all our cream products down. So for that I got the Skin Loving Sensitive again, and it's a mineral powder, blurring and mattifying, again non-comedogenic, with aloe vera, and it's also got no fragrance, no alcohol, no silicones, no parabens, and no mineral oils, so no worries. So this is what it looks like. Very pretty packaging, and it has, and it's embossed in the inside, as you can see. Looks very pretty. So we'll start off with the under eyes, and I like to go in with a sponge, so I just like to cover my sponge like that, and then I like to take the sponge and just, again looking up, just pat it under the eye like that. That's been helping me a lot with my under eye creases, and as you can see, it looks much better. It does still look quite cakey though, I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully we can remedy that. So I'm just going to take just a small domed brush, and I'm again gonna swirl my brush in it, and then I'm again gonna brush under my eyes like this, and then I'll go ahead and just pat it in all over my face. So let's see the blurring qualities, because obviously we've been using the Maybelline Fit Me, and that one is great. Zooming into all these pores over here, and it's not doing much, but it is doing something, so can't complain too much about that. On my chin is also porous, as well as on my forehead. So verdict on the powder, it's not bad. It's definitely not that bad, but it definitely isn't blurring. It's done what it's supposed to in the sense of being a finishing powder, not a setting powder. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it is for sensitive skin, so if you do have sensitive skin, I would recommend. Next, we're gonna move on to, I would say, bronzer and not contouring, because I like to contour with liquids or creams and not with powder. But anyway, we got this Essence Contouring Duo Palette, and this is 20 darker skin. Obviously I have darker skin, so I didn't want to go for the medium tone just in case it was a bit too light. For bronzing purposes, I would definitely go in with that, but if I was contouring, I would go in with that first. But we're just gonna bronze the face up with this. So I'm just gonna grab a fluffy brush. It's not dirty, it just, the foundation I used with it didn't come off, so just dipping into that. There's not too much kickback, which usually means it won't be that pigmented in my experience. Just placing that on the cheek. Oh, it's actually a really nice tone. It's not too orange, not too red. It's actually a really nice like golden brown tone. Just going to place it around the forehead. I don't like that most of these things don't have mirrors. It's so much handier if you do have a mirror. Now I'm trying to balance things out here. I'm just going to take some of this down my neck as well. Don't know if it's the foundation or the primer we used, but you can see some glow coming through. I don't think this has any shimmer in it. It's pretty matte. So yeah, I really like that. It's buildable. It's a good tone for my skin. Yeah, I really like that. Full disclaimer though, I've never really used Essence. I've only used, I think, one product, which was a duo eyeshadow, which was like in 2011 maybe. But that's it. I've never actually used them before. But I'm just going to take a small fluffy brush, and I'm going to dip into this darker shade. And we're going to attempt to contour the nose with this. So just taking it from the inner corner of my eye down the nose. Don't worry, I will blend it out. The same on the other side. There's a bit on my nose that's skipping though. I'm just going to take my powder brush again, and we're just going to buff over all of this. So that contour shade is actually a contour shade, as you can see. It like causes a shadow. Then I'm just going to take my sponge, and I'm just going to pop it over all of what we just did, just to pick up any excess powder and push this into the skin. Okay, so now that my face has some bronzer on, I think it looks a little bit better. It doesn't look as ghostly, and once everything else comes together, you'll see it works. So for this contouring palette, I'd give it a definite yes. The contouring shades are actually contouring shades. So the dark one is the contour and the light one is the bronzer. I mean, you can have a different bronzer, but definitely I would say this is a good palette. So next we'll move on to eyes. So let me start off with priming my eyes. I'm obviously just going to do one eye on camera and we'll do the other eye off, but let's start off with just priming. I'm just going to use my Super Base as always. Okay, so that's my eye primed. So I'm sure it popped up I was using the mirror, but for the eyeshadow palette I got this one, and it is available at Discount, not at Clicks. So it is called Out in the Wild, and it is a very neutral palette with all these nice green and brown tones. So there was another one that's red, but I really did like this one. As you've seen in all my videos, I've gone pretty neutral for most things, and it is a vegan. I don't know if everything else is, I didn't check. Yeah, mostly everything is vegan that I've used, so that's great. But we're gonna go in with this palette. I'm gonna start with a very fluffy brush, and there are no shade names, so I'm gonna go in with this matte shade over here. It is the second lightest brown. And then we're gonna start on the outer corner as always, and I'm just going to buff this in. Oh, I like this. I like this a lot. Then just taking a slightly smaller fluffy brush, I'm gonna go in with this darker brown over here. It's also a matte shade, and it's a really nice tone. Dip into that, and again we're going to place this just on the outer corner over here, darkening that up. It's basically in the same area where we added the previous brown. So just, okay, I'm noticing some fallout, but that's never the end of the world. It just means that the colors are pigmented. I remember the other palette I had from Essence when I was much younger, and I remember it being like very, very pigmented. It was kind of like a smoky palette. I know a lot of people say not to set your eye base, but I find it so much better because I find that when it's too tacky, sometimes it like skips. So I'm just gonna take another fluffy brush. It is slightly larger because we don't want too much payoff from this, and I'm going to dip into like this a greeny shade over here. It's like an army green, and again we're gonna layer that right next to that other brown, but still kind of mixing it in with that brown. So I'm just going to first just get my pigmentation done, and once I'm happy with that payoff, I'll go ahead and blend it. This is really not the direction I was thinking of going in tonight, but here we are. I am noticing the more I'm blending, the more patchy it's getting, so maybe I'm over blending it a little bit, but I just want a nice seamless finish. So that's what we have so far. Do I like it? I mean, it is quite blendable, to be honest, so I mean, definitely not the best. Like, I compare everything to Shein, but it is a pretty good palette. So for shimmers, let's give them a quick swatch. These are the two more looser glitters, this one and that one. They're very, very subtle. And then these two, I'm just doing one swipe. I'm not gonna sell the product if it doesn't work, but they all seem very, very. And then this is the bronze. That looks really nice, actually. I think I'm going to use this one on like the middle of my eye, and then move into this one, I think. So I'm just going to grab a flat shader brush. I'm going to try it dry first, and I'm going to dip into this green. It's not picking much up at all, so let's see, we might have to use our finger. And I haven't cut my crease, so oh, it's not working too badly. I'm gonna dip in my finger and see if we get any more. Oh, yeah, we do. That looks really pretty. I'm just going to take a sponge applicator like I always do, and I think we're gonna go in with this shade over here. It's like the lightest shimmer in here. The shimmer is very lightly packed, and I just had a lot fall out, so just be careful of that. And then I'm going to place in the middle of the eye and blend it in the middle, and then in a third, and just blend it out into that green. And then I'm just going to take a little small detailer brush, and I'm going to dip into this second brown that we used, the darker brown, and I'm just gonna run that under the eye, and then take a little bit of this bronzy shade over here, and we're just gonna follow that with the... Yeah, so my opinion on the palette so far, it's definitely not my best one I've tried. It's not bad, it really is a good option. I think I could have done without it, to be honest. Okay, so I just added a wing, and I think it looks much better with the wing. So next we're going to move on to mascara, and for mascara I got the Essence Lash Princess, and this went viral this year, last year as well. And the one I got was Sculpted Volume Mascara, the purple one. Everybody loves the green one, but I just wanted to try something different. I think the green one is the false lash effect, which I usually would go for, but it just didn't interest me at the time. Feels really cool. It's like rubber, the purple. I don't even think I've tried an Essence mascara. I always used to use Maybelline. So the wand looks like that. I don't know if I will like it, but let's see. Wow, 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 I really like that. Oh my goodness. I've been sleeping on this the whole time. So just zooming in and look, I don't know if you can see from the side, but it is very, very voluminous. It looks like I'm wearing false lashes. Oh my goodness, that is awesome. It looks really, really amazing. I can't believe I am just trying this now. Amazing, amazing, and it's really affordable. Look at that. It's not really clumping my lashes together, but it's added length and volume and separated. Love it. Oh my god. So I'm just gonna complete my other eye off camera, and then we'll come back and move on to blush and lips. Okay, so this is eyes complete. I did set this eye with some setting powder, or a setting powder, before I applied the eyeshadow, and the blendability is a lot better. However, the colors seem to blend away and become really, really patchy the more you blend, so just be careful with that. Would I recommend the palette? I don't think so. I think we already went over that, but I definitely wouldn't. Love the mascara, really, really great, really love that. So moving on, we're going to move on to some blush, and this one is also available at Discount. So it is the blush, and it is 30 Breathtaking. I saw this exact shade on there, and I will link it. I will pop it up here so you can have a look. Everything's taped up with plastic. Plastic with sellotape. So now it looks ugly. Look at the cover now because of this stupid sellotape. Anyway, so this is what it looks like. My camera's not focusing, but it has the emboss of the blush on it again. So just grabbing a fluffy brush, I'm just going to dip into this. I feel like the shade might be a bit too light for me, but I mean, my whole face is light, so I'm just going to... Whoa, that is very pigmented. One little swirl in there gets you your whole blush. Oh, it's definitely not too light for me. In the pan it looks really pink, but it's got like a nice peachy orangey tone on my skin. Wow, I love that. I don't have a highlighter. I was meant to use a luminizer, but I forgot, so I'll use that in my next video. But yeah, really like that blush. So then next we're just going to go on to setting powder, or this is a this is a makeup fixing spray, so it's Keep It Perfect, and it's a hydrating spray with hyaluron, and it's also free from oil and alcohol. The alcohol always makes my skin burn. Again, they put so much sellotape on, and I have no idea why. So just giving that a good shake, testing the mister, and just drenched my face. I like to use a fixing spray at the end just to melt everything together, like I've said before. So just taking my sponge. It does have splotches, so just tapping those splotches out. You can see that it's left like a hole. So not the best mister on here. Also not the most hydrating. Anyway, last product we have, finally. Hopefully this video isn't as long as my rest of them because I always jabber so much. So this is the Semi-Matte 06 Real. There we go. They don't have this on the Discam or Click site though, but they do have other lipstick. So this is just a semi-matte, again with the sellotape. So this lipstick canister would look really nice and plain and sleek, but now it's got like sticky sellotape all around it. But I did buy this a few months ago, so maybe that's why. This is the shade that I got. It's really nice and like a mauvey. I do have an Essence pencil, but I think this pencil is going to be too light for the lipstick. Yeah, definitely. So let me just throw on some brown lip liner and then we'll apply the lipstick. So as usual, I just applied dark brown because that's what I like to do. And then I'm just going to apply the lipstick. I really like the feel of the lipstick. It does smell a bit funny, but oh, I really like this. I'm not too fussy with lipstick because like I just care about the finish, and this is a really nice finish. Really like that. Okay guys, so this is our finished look. I'm not overly impressed by the products, I'm not gonna lie. I do love the blush and I love the concealer, and I love the the mascara, and I did love this contour, but that's all I can attest for. Everything else was meh. Like I could probably have just done with my own products. I do like the look that we came up with, but I don't necessarily think the lips matched the eyes. It's too dark together. I should have gone a little bit neutral on the eye, but I got excited and just wanted to put a bunch of slap on my face. So yeah, all in all, I think that Essence is a hit and miss brand. That's my opinion, but I mean, not everybody's gonna buy a full face of it. If anything, just pick a few products, see how it works for you and see how you like it. But yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for joining me, and hope that you'll join me next week again for another video. I think next week's video is going to be a proudly South African brand. Either that or I'm just going to play with some makeup on camera, but I have a proudly South African brand that I bought like 8 months ago and hadn't had a chance to film yet. So yeah, some exciting things coming up. Please like, subscribe and click the notification bell, and also if you could just share this video with your friends, that would be greatly appreciated. Also let me know if there's anything else you want to see from my channel. I can do a lot of other things, what I eat in a day, vlogs. Let me know what you want to see and I can try and work something out. But other than that, that's it from me guys. Hope everybody has a great evening and bye.